Good day, this is Tata Seva doing another video. Today's video is going to be the creation story in Palo Mayombe. First and foremost, let me just say that I do not claim to have the absolute truth. Now, I just want to remind everyone that this creation story is different than mainstream creation story that you have heard before. So, let's get started. In the beginning, from the darkness, Nsambi decided to create Ente Temba Wa, or better known as the stars and the astral, which quickly transformed into a tribe which he named Nsuru, or heaven. But it didn't take long for Nsambi to show preference for two of his children, one being male and the other one being female. The male, named Ntango, or the sun, was the best warrior of them all. The female, named Ntoto, or earth, was the most beautiful of them all. It was proclaimed that Ntango and Ntoto would be married, and a huge celebration took place. A short time later, 4 children were born from this union. The first one was Ngonda, or the moon. The second was Tia, or the fire. Third one was Ntembo, or the wind. And the fourth one was Maza, or the water. It didn't take long before Tia and Ngonda got married, and from this union 2 children were born. The first one was Lufua, or death, and the second one was Mb, or evil. Ngonda abandoned her maternal obligations and abandoned her children and her husband. It didn't take long before her father Ntango found out about what she had done and swore that he would kill her. Short time later, he found her, but before he could strike to take her life, her mother Ntoto intervened by covering her up with her own body. Now, a mother's love is a mother's love. In theory, a mother would do anything to protect their child, no matter what the child has done, and this is exactly what Ntoto did. Now, Tia, still in love with his wife Ngonda, challenged his own father Ntango to a fight to the death. Ntango laughed, and he belittled Tia by saying that it wouldn't be a fair fight on his behalf. And at that very moment, Ntango began to violently beat his own son, Tia, almost to the brink of death. Again, Ntoto intervened and protected her child and offered him refuge within inside of her. Now the 2 children, Lufua and Mb, were orphans since their mother Ngonda has disappeared, and their father Tia took refuge inside Ntoto forever. Now the children were left at the mercy of their astral families, which mistreated them for many years. After becoming of age, Lufua and Mb decided to get away from everybody that has ever did them wrong. Lufua and Mb got married, and from this union was born a child called Nkadi A Mpemba. This child inherited all the hate and resentment from every wrong his parents had suffered from. He in turn is the evil force of the universe. Now the other 2 children of Ntango and Toto, Ntembo and Masa, got married, and from this union were born 2 children, Ntandi, or the rock, and Moyo, or life. These 2 were born healthy and strong, and eventually they got married, and from this union was born a child called Lufu Ane Su. She was in charge of the balance in the universe. Eventually, Lufu Ane Su grew up to be a very beautiful woman, which grabbed the attention of Nkandi A Mpemba, who constantly observed her. He desired her and envied her all at the same time. One day, as she walked through the gardens of Ntoto, Nkandi A Mpemba raped her. From this was born a child called Bia Won Sono. He will represent the visible material world that we live in. Everything that you see, that you're able to see, it's him. He inherited all the attributes from both his parents, all of the good and the bad. Nsambi, forever observing the evolution of his creation, decided to come down to Ntoto and bring balance and peace. It was decided that Bia Won Sono had to be destroyed, for he was contaminating the material world. So he was beheaded and his body parts were tossed throughout the land. From his body parts came menso, or what we see, and suno, or what we smell, vova, or the sounds, and boma, or what we perceive, and matu, or what we can hear. And Sami decided to go see Masa. After seeing that she was lonely, he created Mpicia Masa, or the fish, to keep her company. After that, he went to visit Ntembo and saw that Ntembo was also lonely, and he created Nuni, or the birds, to keep Ntembo company. Then Sambi went to visit his favorite daughter, Ntoto, which he had given 2 children to raise as her own and to keep her company. Their names were Bulu and Bifi Tete. After that, Nsambi decided to go to the mountain to rest, content, happy that he had brought balance and peace once again. Now eventually Moyo and Bulu married and had 2 children. The first being Enkento, or the woman. The second being Bakara, or the man. So this is a version, one of the versions of the creation story. From there, maybe I'll do another video where I'll include mankind. But for those of you that need to go back to the different parts of this video in order to figure out the story, so be it. Until next time, stay humble, be kind to one another. May Sami bless you and yours. Salam alaikum.